Hey guys, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today is Monday, the, what do we got here, 22nd of May. So this is the strawberries left, and then some of Heather's other, and then we got the medicinal plants. So those will go into the outside, and I'll show you where we're going to put those. But we ended up, I had to run down to town. I bought more cages, and I bought another 6 tomatoes. So we planted a grand total of 18 tomato plants. And like I said, the garden, with the 18 tomato plants, we're going to have plenty of tomatoes. So it was a different kind from before that we had gotten. So now I listened to, somebody had suggested, and I can't remember who it was, so I apologize. But she said, like, as far as putting in the onions, cut a slit like 6 inches, plant some, then go down further, cut another slit, and that's exactly what I did with the onions. Now what I did over here, I also listened to somebody else's suggestion of doing a tomato plant, a pepper plant, a tomato, a pepper, tomato, pepper, tomato. So I only ended up with 6 pepper plants, so all these tomato plants down here, it's all tomato plants, okay? Over here, I put in some cucumbers that are down here. It's 4 cucumbers there. And then I put in the 4 zucchini. These are zucchini. Now, of course, I put in dandelions every year. And I don't know if anybody knows that. It keeps away the pests. They don't like dandelions. So, for whatever reason, so I've used that trick since I was young because my grandparents used it, and that's, so we did that. So basically, I'm focusing, as you can see this year, on tomatoes, getting a good supply of tomatoes in, because we want to definitely do some canning in the fall. Now, I've had people tell me put in 50 tomato plants. The most I ever had any time before was maybe 4 tomato plants, and I had a ton of tomatoes off of those. These things will grow freaking huge in this soil, so I think we're going to be good to go on tomatoes with 18 plants. Trust me, I really do. We're going to have a lot of tomatoes. So I still have to flatten this out, and I did go with the tarp stuff like I told you guys. Now, I listened to what you guys were saying and about wood chips and stuff like that, but it's not going to be this year. You know, down the road maybe, but not this year. So I went with this method. I've done this before. It works very well. So it really cuts down on the weeding. And I just use stone all over the place. I gotta go over and fix that spot because I was leaning down over there earlier. But so that's what we got going. So we got 18 tomato plants. Put in a whole row there of onions. There's like 18 onion plants in there, I believe, altogether. And we have 18 tomato plants. It's actually more than 4 of these because there's like 2 or so or better in each one of these. So like with the zucchini. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever had zucchini bread, but that is absolutely awesome, okay? And the cucumbers, there's, like you can see, there's like 2 in each one. So there's going to be, we're going to get a ton. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what we end up pulling out. And so that was what the project was today. And this was basically over a course of 3 or 4 days I've been working on this. But well worth it. Somebody had suggested putting something on the outside of these to make sure that the dirt doesn't wash away when it rains, and that's a very smart idea, and I probably will do something. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. But yeah, that's the only thing I got left to do today is water these, because I got them all in. So now I'm just going to water them, and then after I water them, they'll be good to go. But that's all I'm doing today, guys. It's after 5. It's 5:30 right now, and so got this part done. Happy with the progress, making more progress, you know, and that's realistically what it's all about. It's just making that progress. And like I said, this was a lot of work, but here's something interesting. I don't know if you guys will find this interesting or not, but I thought it was interesting. Now, these metal cages over here are like $3 a piece. These colored ones are like almost 6 a piece, but they're built better to last longer. So, you know, I ended up buying more of the colored ones. I bought 6 more of the colored ones just because I want the freaking things to last. Those other ones, they fall apart so fast. Now we used those last year, so obviously we're reusing them again this year. And I did pick up some of the smaller ones to put for the pepper plants. So we'll see how it all pans out. Hopefully everything grows well and it grows good, and we have a nice freaking supply of tomatoes and cucumbers and zucchini and you know, peppers, and I think we're going to be good. We're going to have a good crop out of this. I'm hoping. We still, like I said, we have the strawberries. They'll go out here. But yeah, so like I said, I know there's a lot more that should be going into the garden. Okay, so first of all, please don't hammer me on, oh, you should have planted this and you should have planted that. And I understand, I absolutely do. But this is what we planted this year. This is what we're going to plant this year. Next year, I probably will make the garden bigger. Okay, but for this year, this is what we're doing. So it's in a good area. It's going to get a lot of sunshine in this area. So like I said, I'm real happy with this. This was, like I said, this was a lot of work. Heather actually helped me come out and plant, so that was nice. But she didn't want to be on video, so I was like, okay. So here's awesome, absolutely some awesome news. My daughter is getting an award here at the end of the month for being in the top 10% in a 6-county area for science, and so she's getting an award for that on later this month. So I'm real proud of her. She's a real smart girl, and she says to me, she goes, yeah, Dad, I don't understand how people struggle so much. She goes, I find it really easy. And I said, well, that's awesome. So she's actually thinking now of possibly pursuing a science career, which would be absolutely smart on her part. I don't know if a lot of you know, not a lot of women pursue math and science. So they pretty much get a free ride. They get they can write their own ticket if they do well in math and science. And she is in 10th grade taking 11th grade math and 11th grade science. So, she's like all these other people in her class are much older than her. And even in her own class, because she actually started kindergarten when she was 4 years old. So she didn't turn 5 until October. So obviously their birthday's in October. But so yeah, things are, like I said, she's got a bright future ahead of her, and I'm real proud of her. She's a good kid, real good kid, good student, great daughter. I couldn't ask for anything better. I really couldn't. I've been very blessed having her as my child. So it makes a big difference. But and Eddie's a good boy too. Don't get me wrong. I'm just academically wise, Heather is just doing very well, and I'm real proud of her. So I just thought I would share that with you guys. So anyway, so that's the progress we've made over the course of a couple of days, and it seems methodical and boring, I'm sure, for a lot of people, but it is going to pay off a ton, and I can't wait for the tomatoes to get done so I can start pounding down some tomato sandwiches. I absolutely love when the tomatoes are fresh, and like I said, we're going to be doing some serious canning this year. I think we'll get a lot more tomatoes this year than a lot of people think, as long as the weather holds, and we'll do okay. Now, I don't know if I told you guys the other day, what was the day? I had done a video, and I was saying it looks like it's going to rain, and it started sprinkling a little bit, and then it stopped, and I finished the video. And so when I got done, I had gone into the house, and it was coming down really hard for a while, and we actually had hail, and it was small, not even that size hail, but it was hitting the panels, and no damage to the panels, and the panels have been doing fine. So that was interesting, because I was definitely like, oh my god, how big is this freaking hail? But because it was small and it was a short burst of hail, I think that made a difference too. But yeah, that was kind of scary. I would hate to lose my panels to a hailstorm, but we don't get a lot of hail up here, so it was kind of definitely a shocking thing. So anyway, so that's what's going on here, and so now this is done. Like I said, I'll spread this all out and get this squared away, and we'll get the Heather's stuff in, and we'll get the strawberries in as well, and we'll see what we can do with that part of it. But so it just extends the garden a little bit bigger this year. But I'm real pleased, and we should be doing very well, and we're going to have an abundant crop this year, I'm thinking. So that project is pretty much almost done, other than, like I said, just working over here. But the hard part, as far as I'm concerned, the hard part is done. So that is what's happening, guys. And I'm going to jump off of here so I can do some other stuff. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Remember, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every day how you feel, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. And remember, guys, it's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever your goals are, you can reach them. You can absolutely reach them. And you just got to work at it, okay? I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.